It was a special moment. You can see the peace on Sid's face. That image right there was very special to our family.
Growing up in Birmingham, Alabama, Sid Ortis had many passions: faith, family, and their football team, the LSU Tigers.
In Alabama, there's not a lot of LSU fans, and so he was a lone wolf a lot of times at school, and he loved that.
A basketball player. In August 2014, Sid complained of tightness in his knee a week before entering high school. A day later, his father told Sid the diagnosis: osteosarcoma, bone cancer.
It's the hardest thing you'll ever say. It is something you think your kid will never have. And his face went completely blank. I mean, he went pale, almost void of emotion, except he had these big brown eyes that just like looking at me, almost like, fix this. And you can't.
He looked at me and he goes, "Mom, could I die?" And that was the hardest thing, because you don't ever think you're going to say that to your kid.
Over the next 8 months, Sid endured grueling rounds of chemotherapy, multiple surgeries, at times, his body in agony.
I saw him crying at night. I saw him yelling in pain. I saw a little boy that was so scared, and what I really saw was I saw a little boy that was about to turn into a man.
In March, as the cancer spread to his chest wall and both lungs, Sid's community dressed itself in purple and gold to show support. Word of that display and of Sid's battle reached LSU coach Les Miles through a family friend.
I placed a call shortly thereafter and struck up a relationship.
Now you're a basketball player, huh?
Yes, sir. I'm not really on the school team. Like, I just play it's called rec league.
You know, it's a 15, 20-minute phone call, and he's talking to Sid like he's talking to one of his own kids.
It's not the length of time that you are here. It's that the quality of that time is so great.
As Sid continued to fight, Miles continued to stay in touch and invited Sid to be his guest on the field for LSU's game against Auburn in September. Before kickoff, they met in person for the first time. A moment with a message.
I told him I loved him. Told him I loved him.
Why?
Because he was bright and happy, and with all of the difficulty that he was enduring, he had spirit and fight and a smile and an enjoyment and wide-eyed. And I realized he wouldn't get many opportunities to do this again.
Didn't have to hug him, but Sid knew that he cared. And he told us, he said, this is the best day ever.
Dear Lord, thank you for
Less than a month later, Sid left the hospital for the final time.
never give up when you're in a bad situation. Just keep fighting.
Hearing the news, the coach called Sid to ask for a favor.
Praying for you, the Lord certainly has a plan, and we're going to miss you. You got it? But hey, do me a favor, save me in place.
I anticipated that this was a battle that his body would lose, but his spirit would overcome, and that he'd have the opportunity to go to heaven. I said, when you get up there, save me a spot.
The last time Miles called was Friday, October 30th. The next morning, Sid Ortis' fight ended. He was 16 years old.
He had this little peaceful Sid, a grin that he had given a million times before. He was gone, and his job on this earth was done.
And to think he's 16. I want for every 16-year-old look forward to having a family and a great career and life and the many joys that are the struggle of living. He's had a great life. It's just not quite as long as you would want for everyone.